So hi guys, welcome again to another video, and for this video I'll be summarizing the chapter 11 or summarizing again the chapter 11, which is a build a small network. So let's start. In small network topology, so the small network topology have simple designs and only a small number of network devices are needed. So a small network usually comprise one router and a couple of switches and the user's PC. A connection to the internet is achieved through a single WAN link, the commonly either cable or DSL. So most of the managing tasks is related to maintaining and troubleshooting existing equipment. So the management of a small network is usually done by an employee of a third party company. So the IP addressing for a small network. So address space is crucial component of a network device or network design. All the device connected to the network require an address. So the address stream must be planned, documented, and maintained. So address space documentation can be very useful for troubleshooting. And address documentation is also very important when controlling resource access. So for the next one, we have redundancy in a small network. A network should be in the reliable design. Network failures are usually very costly. Redundancy increases reliability. By eliminating single points of failure. Network redundancy can be achieved by duplicating network equipment and links. So a good example of this network link is the internet or the server farm. So now we have the traffic management. Traffic type and patterns should also be considered when designing a network. So a good network category design traffic according to the priority. And for the last one, we have the protocol analysis. A network administrator must understand the protocol in use in the network. Protocol analyzer are tools designed to help in their tasks. So for more accurate protocol analysis, it is important to capture the traffic in high utilization times and in different location of the network. The result of analysis allows more efficient way to manage traffic. Excuse me. So now let's proceed to the next slide. We have the common applications, which is the network application and the application layer service. So for the network application, It used to communicate over the network, and email client and web browser are example of this type of application. So for the application layer services, programs that interface with the network and prepare data for transfer. Each service uses protocol which define the standard and data formats to be used. So let's proceed to the next slide. We have the excuse me, security threats and vulnerability. Excuse me. We have the type of threats. We have the digital intrusion can be costly. Intruders can gain access through software vulnerability, hardware attacks, or stolen credential. So common type of the digital threats include those listed here. Excuse me. The information thief, the data loss and manipulation, and etc. So for the next one, we have the vulnerability. But first, there are some physical security and there are classes of these physical threats. We have the hardware, environmental, electrical, and maintenance. So now let's proceed to types of vulnerability. So there are three primary vulnerabilities. So first we have the technological, and this vulnerabilities protocol, operating system, and network equipment. So for the next one, we have configuration. Vulnerability is created by misconfigured device, default configuration values, and easily guessed password. For the last one, we have security policy. Lack of security policy, software and hardware installation is not consistent with the security policy. So, and no disaster or recovery plan. Typically, the device under attack are the endpoints such as server and a desktop computer. Any of these three vulnerabilities can be exploited and used in attacks. So now, let's define the access attacks. So, attacks against known vulnerabilities and the services. So, the goal is to gain access to information that they have no right to view, and access attack can be classified into four types. We have the password attacks, trust exploitation, port redirection, and man in the middle. So now, let's proceed to the denial of service attacks. So that is difficult to eliminate. The denial of service are regarded as trivial and require a little effort to execute. So although it is simple, the denial of service are still dangerous. So ultimately, they prevent unauthorized people from using a service by consuming system resources. To prevent this denial of service attack, it is important to have a latest security updates. So now we have the firewall. So the firewall controls the traffic and helps prevent unauthorized access. Techniques for determining what is permitted or denied access to a network include packet filtering, application filtering, URL filtering, and stateful packet inspection or the SPI. So now we will be interpreting the ping results. So using the ping command, it is an effective way to test the connectivity. Use the Internet Control Message Protocol to verify the layer 3 connectivity. So the ping command can help to identify the source of the problem. So ping is used for the iOS with yield 1 several indicators for each ICMP echo request that was sent. The most common indicators are the exclamation point, the dot, and the letter U. So the exclamation point indicates the receipt of an ICMP echo reply messages, and the dot indicates the time expired while waiting for an ICMP echo reply message, and the letter U indicates that the ICMP unreachable message was received. So the extended ping is this mode is entered by ping in privilege X mode without the destination IP address. So the series of prompts are then presented, and by pressing enter it accepts the indicated default value. So the show command display configuration is checking the status of the device interface and processes and verifying the device operational status. So the status of nearly every process or function of the router can be displayed using a show command. So here are the different types of show command. We have the show running config, the interface, the ARP, the show IP route, show protocol, and the show version. So we have here, for the next one, we have the ipconfig command can be used to display the IP information on a Windows-based computer. So the ipconfig command displays the host and its default gateway IP addresses. So the ipconfig all command is used to view the host of IP configuration in more detail, including the MAC address. So the ipconfig display DNS command display all the cache DNS enters on the Windows-based computer system. So I think that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you again on my next video.